All right, hello and welcome to tonight's weather update. It's about 9 o'clock, and it was a really ridiculously warm day, and that's what we're going to start off with here is this ridiculous warmth that we had today. Unbelievable. Um, 5 out of 6 climate sites have broken high temperatures, according to the National Weather Service. Newark, record high of 70, record high of 69 at JFK. LaGuardia, record high of 68. Islip, record high of 68. The only one that didn't break it is Central Park and Bridgeport, record high of 67. I was saying that all the sites will break it instead of for some reason Central Park, because they're by the lake and they have a lot of trees there. It's for whatever reason they don't. They're a lot cooler than a lot of other sites during the day. So the other addition is, in addition to breaking daily high temperature records, Islip and Bridgeport both tied their monthly record highs for February. So these are their record highs for February were also tied. So just gives you an example of how unbelievably warm it was today. Absolutely crazy. Right now, temperatures are dropping into the 40s, cooling off after an extremely warm day. You can see on the satellite, a veil of high clouds has been over us a good part of the day. Although the sun was out, especially in the afternoon, it was some high clouds around. Nothing on the radar right now as we speak. This is the next system that we've got to watch for tomorrow night into Friday. Let's get back to our current conditions out there. You see temperatures which have dropped into the mid 40s. Dew points have dropped as well into the 20s, so the colder air is moving into Long Island. Still hanging on to some 50s, though, in Jersey. I see 53 there at Lakehurst, so still quite ridiculously warm. So let's, in a lot of areas. So let's go over what the conditions were like today in a lot of the areas. We'll first look at Islip, and we'll show you what it was like at Islip. And you will see here that in Islip, they got up to 68 degrees. There was no sea breeze at all today anywhere. And you could see the temperatures in the morning at 9 o'clock were already 50 degrees, and then we just kept rising from there. It looked like the wind tried to go southwest for a little bit there. But other than that, temperatures were well into the 60s, and then you start seeing the drop from 62 to 53 as the colder air started filtering in, and we got some stronger wind gusts too, as well. So another example of that. Well, we got to talk about the wind gusts too. So let's look at another site. Let's look at Farmingdale. And we're going to look at a whole bunch of sites today because it was really impressive what happened. So Farmingdale, 69, got up to 69 there. Nearly 70 degrees. And you can see warm and a little bit on the humid side too. Dew points eventually dropped and the winds took a more northwesterly component. But really just something today. Let's look at another site here, and just to show you, no relief even out east. Gabreski Airport also probably got up there as well. Well, it was actually a little better out there. Looked like there was a sea breeze hanging on the east end that kept them from hitting 60. Actually, no, it does say 60, but definitely not as hot as it was further west. And if we look at Jersey now, I'm really curious. Let's go and see what we got at Miller Air Park. Miller Air Park isn't reporting, so we'll go and look at Lakehurst, and we'll see what Lakehurst got up to today. I'm sure they probably hit 72. Oh my God, 72 in Jersey. That is unbelievable. That's just, it's February, all right, mid-February. This is unheard of. Well, maybe going into late February, but still, this is crazy. This is another sign of the climate crisis going on, because you don't see us setting record lows. It's always record highs, and that should tell you something right there. So let's take a look at what our highs were across the area. We'll use this here, and we'll go over this, and you'll see. Look at that, 60s. You could see the east end for whatever reason. There was a sea breeze that was just limited to the east end, but everybody else, right, just shy of 70 or at 70. I see a 70 over Levittown. It's going a little closer. Let's see what Carl plays. 69, 70 in Hicksville. So really just ridiculously warm for February across the area. Just unbelievable. And if we go look at New Jersey, you'll start seeing the 70s pop up. 72 in Toms River. 73, look at that, a 74 at Coyle Field. Oh my God, that's just insane. That is not good at all. So, yeah, that's just not good at all. Um, yeah, I know you like it warm, but this is just too warm for this time of the year. Way too warm. Definitely not normal. Let me go look at Wonderground here. We'll get a few more sites. Let's see if there was a sea breeze anywhere today. If there was a sea breeze anywhere. Let's see. Let's go to Mass Peak. Well, let's see if there was a sea breeze there. Now they're down to 42. Let's see if they got a sea breeze. 64. Nope, not really. No sea breeze. A very slight, maybe very slight, but barely any effect at all. Even if you're right on the water, nothing. Nothing. What about West Gilgo? Maybe if you're out in the Bay Area Island, you had a sea breeze. Let's see. Let's see if there was a sea breeze there. Nope, 65. So you can see no sea breeze at all. And you can see when it bumped up in the afternoon. That's when the temperatures really shot up. When the winds gusted out of the west and the sun came out, that's when it was at its most brutal. But yeah, this was like the summer. It would be hundreds. That's the kind of heat that we had today. Let's see if Fire Island maybe had any relief from it. Let's see. 56. Okay, so maybe Fire Island got a little more of a sea breeze. Yeah, you have to go a little further out east to get maybe a little bit of a sea breeze. So, yeah, there you go. Other than that, we were all just very hot today. Very disturbingly warm. Something that we should all be disturbed about. So let's go and look at the wind gust reports here. This was from last night. And I think the wind was so bad a mailbox got blown over here in Mineola. That's how bad the wind was last night. Somebody put a picture of that up. But 54, wind gust 54 in Stony Brook, Great South Bay, 54, Great Gull Island, 52, Eaton's Neck, 51, Orient, 50 miles an hour. In Nassau, we had a gust of 47 at Bayville. Some of the maritime stations say, yeah, that's 50 miles an hour is enough to knock out down a mailbox if it hits it right. So, yeah, we were mailbox knocked down. You notice a lot of the little metal posts they put along the road have been blown down by all these wind events too that we've had across the area as well. So let's take a look at the models here and track our next storm. We have this area of low pressure here that is going. You see that high building in, cold air builds in. We're cloudy tomorrow, and then mixed precipitation starts around midnight tomorrow night, and then changes to rain. Fortunately, I think we're going to definitely see that change over to rain, but north of the area, you'll notice winter storm watches are in effect for that area, this area that's shaded in blue. So I'm thinking that that's where you're going to see the snow. But for us, I think it's going to be a little bit of mixed precipitation, then it changes over to rain. Low pressure moves out, and then the high builds in for the weekend. And you can see some of that cold air building into next week. There's another high that's coming out of there. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be dealing with. So let's go look at the HRRR model. Now we have more models that'll have eyes on this storm. So tomorrow, we're just cloudy. We're not going to be dealing with any precipitation until probably tomorrow night. It's a little scattered light precipitation. HRRR has it beginning as a mix of possible freezing rain. And then maybe a little bit of snow, particularly the north and east. And then by Friday morning, it changes over to rain. And then it moves on out of here. So if we looked at the total snowfall map here, you'll see that we're just on the edge of the accumulation. So maybe an inch of mixed precipitation on the ground. That'll be it. Then it changes over to rain. You look at the total accumulated precip, you'll see most of that will be in the form of rain for our area, at least according to the HRRR. And that's because the temperatures will be rising. The warm air will be coming in. If we look at our dew points tonight, you'll see that we have that north flow. So that's the cool air. It comes northeasterly. And then you see more of that easterly onshore flow. And that's what's going to bring those temperatures up for your Friday. So it changes it over to rain before the cold air comes back in on the backside of the storm. We look at the temperatures on the ground. Tomorrow it's going to be a cold day, though. We're going to have highs only in mid-30s, kind of a gray, cloudy day. And then the temperatures start pretty much, maybe they'll drop to around freezing, but they'll rise by Friday morning above freezing and 30s, and then perhaps a little burst into the 40s ahead of the cold front before the cold air comes back down again. And if we can look at some other models, let's go to that. Let's go to the NAM 3 and look at the NAM and how it handles this storm as well. So see, if you're in Jersey, you might get a little bit of light mixed precipitation tomorrow. The cold air, we're getting into shallow, so that's the issue. So that's why you see all this ice here. This is as far as the 0Z run goes. Actually, I got the 0Z run on the screen. Let's go to the 18. So this large area of ice is definitely a little concerning, though. That is all freezing rain right there that we would have, or sleet that would continue. We'd have at least a couple of hours of it, which could make things slippery. Might need to issue a winter weather advisory for at least for central New Jersey into Long Island, just on the periphery of that winter storm warning. And then we see that change over to rain during the day. All right. Now we can look at the total accumulated on this total snowfall. Yeah, this is a little higher here. You notice that, right? NAM's a little slower to move that cold air out. There's also this one too. This is a different capped at 10-1. So this is a 10-1. So I don't think snow is going to really be a big issue in our area. It's mainly going to be freezing rain and sleet that we're going to have to deal with. Let's go to another model here. I really don't want to use any other models. I mean, we've been through them all. We'll do the GFS. The GFS, you can see, still got some pinks over Long Island. So I still think it's overdoing it a little bit. GFS, the HRRR has got a better idea of this because the cold air is very shallow. And if we go to the cold air that we get that coming in is actually very shallow cold air. So if we were to look at this doesn't, we'll use the other windy or Ventu sky site. Generally speaking, after the storm is done, is when we're going to be dealing with more cold air. So let me go back to GFS. We'll show you what happens when the storm is done. Cold air comes back in the picture Saturday. Northwest winds. Sunday, winds go a little more west-southwest, which may moderate things, but you can see what's going on here for Monday. This is going to be some Arctic air that we're going to have to deal with on Monday. Temperatures dropping. Those are the dew points, but you see the northwest flow there. It gives you an idea of where this air mass came from. So if we can go look at our temperatures here, our surface temperatures, you'll see for your Friday and Friday night. By Saturday morning, we're down to around the 20-degree mark in the teens. And then Saturday, we're only going to have highs around the freezing mark. Sunday, a little warmer. We're going to have that moderation with the west wind, probably highs around 40. But then here's what happens. That other cold front comes in, and Monday, we're not making it out of the 20s. So, yeah, it's going to be cold. And then it lifts out by Tuesday. So let's now look at what the skies. I'm going to have some clear skies again because it just seems like we've been stuck in the clouds a lot lately. Obviously, not tomorrow and not Friday. We did have some sun today, obviously, but not a clear sky. Saturday, it's looking iffy right now. Sunday may be the better, clearer day. Then that Arctic front comes through, and then for Monday we would have another clear day probably behind that Arctic front. All right. Let's go to the RGEM right now. Look at the RGEM and see how this handles it. So, see tomorrow we're going to be dealing with those high to mid-level overcasts, and then the clouds thicken lower. Obviously, Friday we're dealing with clouds. Maybe we'll see a little brief glimpse of sun just before sunset. And then as far as Saturday goes, it looks like it's trying to clear Saturday out. We'll see what'll happen with that. Hopefully we can get a nice day. Though until I pass this thing, can't really do any hikes. Hopefully I pass it soon. Drinking plenty of water. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about here. So let's go to the Ventu sky, and I'll show you what I mean with the temperatures above the ground here. This is the HRRR model, so we'll show you tomorrow, and we'll take, let's say, 1 o'clock, all right? Tomorrow. Temperature 2 meters above the ground, 32. All right, let's go a little higher than that, and let's see what the temperature is. Oh, it's weird. It's got an anomaly. That's cool. But let's go to 850. All right. See, it's not that cold at 850. It's not that much colder at 850. That's the issue. If we go higher than that, it'll start getting colder. But still not that cold. This is 750. So here's the issue. So we're going to move this along to Friday at 1 when the precipitation is going to start. All right, so temperatures of the surface are 32. But if we go above, let's go to 850 HPA here. You see, look at where the wind's coming from, the south. So that's going to bring in warmer air. Here we are at 4, and see, temperatures are already above freezing aloft. So the point is that the cold air is going to be near the surface. And so you're not going to be able to grow snow up there. It's going to be, the issue is if temperatures are below freezing at the surface, that's where you could set up for a freezing rain event. So here we are, 6 in the morning, aloft, we're above freezing, but at the surface, we're just right around the freezing mark. And that's the problem that we have to worry about here in terms of, I think the freezing rain and the sleet is going to be the biggest threat. It won't last too long, but if you're going out Monday morning, it may make things, not Monday morning, Friday morning, it may make things very, very treacherous. So that's the main issue that we're going to have to watch out for. I don't think snow is the main concern here. It's going to be sleet and especially freezing rain with this shallow, low-level cold air that we have in that sometimes it's a little hard to get rid of when it's near the surface. So that's the issue that we have. And again, when you go aloft, it goes above freezing. Let's go to this high. Let's see a little colder when you go that high. But right at this level, you can see it's above freezing. South winds bringing in the warmer air. So that's the issue you have. You have south winds aloft, but at the surface you have an east, which northeasterly wind, which is a little colder. So that's going to be the issue. But either way, when we go and we look at the HRRR, which is one of the better short-range models we have, we move this along to 11, and now we're above freezing, healthily above freezing, so we're fine. All right. So that is what I think is what we're looking at right now. We can also look at the windy.com model as well, which is the European model. We'll see how the European model handles this as well with, we can go here and show you what it's, go to the new snow, and you can see it's kind of like has us on the borderline. So Long Island, it's actually a little higher for Long Island, and then nothing over here, 0. But if you go north, look at how much they get. So we're on the fringe here. European, again, thinks the cold air is going to be a little thicker. Seems the European and the GFS seem to want to have the cold air a little thicker than it actually might be. So we're going to move this along to 3 a.m. You can see the borderline temperatures here out east, where you can see where the cold air is kind of set up. This is 3 in the morning, all right? So now we're looking at the temperature at the surface. Let's go aloft. Yeah, it's not as warm aloft as the HRRRs. That is probably why they don't agree. Yeah, they don't agree because of that. You can see it looks totally different. Doesn't really, yeah. Well, actually, here we are, H800. You can see the warm air coming in, but it's just it has a little bit of a different profile in the atmosphere. It has the cold air a little thicker, which would have a tendency to support more snow. And I'm not really buying that at this point. So that's why I'm thinking the HRRR will be more, it's a more of a rapid update model that could handle it. And you can actually look at all these models here. Here's the icon. I'd see that's warmer. GFS is colder. NAM is a little, this is, again, we're looking aloft here at 2,000 meters above the surface. But that's kind of determines, your whether you're going to see the snow or not. So that's, this is 3 in the morning, though. So if we move this along to, let's move this along here, 7 in the morning. Clearly see now we're above freezing aloft. 38 aloft, so the warmer air is streaming in here. And we would have rain at the surface because of that. Well, let's see what temperatures are at the surface here. See, this is the problem. At the surface, see, at 8 a.m., we're still, like, hanging on to that freezing mark, and that's where we have to watch out for the icing. This is 8 a.m. All right, we're looking at the URO now. All right, so we move this along to 11 a.m., we're finally above freezing, but the URO doesn't seem to want to bring in the warmer air as much. And that's why it's every model has different opinion on it. I mean, I think the most snow you'll see is 3. I think that's the high end. The low end, I think, would be an inch or less, which will probably wash away when we get the rain and the warmer weather, warmer air coming in. Which again, this is different. See again, Icon. The Icon is much warmer. GFS also warmer. So you have the warmer air coming in. I think that will help break up any of the white stuff that we have on the ground. We're still going to be dealing with the rain. Here's the rain. This is the GFS here at 11 a.m. Still shows it raining. European. That's the GFS. Still shows it raining. The rain doesn't stop until the afternoon, and then it tapers off. But I think we could get quite a bit of rain after that. So it's going to stay a messy day, and it won't really dry out into the afternoon. So keep that in mind. And I think that the winter weather advisory probably will wind up being issued for our area to border this winter storm watch, which will become a winter storm warning. So it'll be a winter storm warning for the area shaded in blue here. And then south of that, we have the winter storm, the winter weather advisory. So we got this is the wintry mix air event here, that the briefing that the Weather Service has created. And their guess is for snowfall here, like I said, only an inch. Expected ice accumulation, they may be a little low with that. So I'm thinking there may be more ice than they think that's going to be. It won't be a significant ice storm, but it's going to be some ice out there, a light ice event for, I think I would have that icing going all the way down across most of Long Island and into the city, because that cold air is going to be hanging out at the surface, but aloft the warmer air is going to be coming in. And so it'll be raining, and it'll be above freezing above us, but down at the surface it'll be below freezing, and the ground might be below freezing, and that's what's going to cause things to ice up. So we're going to have to just watch the situation, and we'll have more information tomorrow night. Have a good night.